What if one scoop of biodegradable powder could stop garbage bag leaks, kill odors, and curb bacteria, and keep pests away? Welcome to Industry Ignited, the show where we unpack bold ideas that move industries forward. I'm your host, Dr. Leeanne Aguilar. Today, we're joined by Ali Rezaei, CEO, Product Manager, and Nanobiotechnology Researcher, and Maryam Lotfitanha, who leads brand and market development at Polyean Technology, the cleanup startup behind Leeanne, a biodegradable, nano-enhanced absorbent that tackles odors and bacterial growth in waste. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Leeanne. I'm Ali Rezaei, the CEO of Polyean Technology. I'm happy to have a conversation with you in Industry Ignited podcast, and we are with you. Thank you.
And this is Maryam. I'm the marketing manager at Polyean.
Ali, you've moved from academic nanobiotechnology to founding Polyean. What moment made you say, this leachate problem is mine to solve?
Well, honestly speaking, it starts from something very simple. I saw how common household waste, especially in cities, creates these unpleasant and sanitary actually leaks, what we call leachate. It's dirty, smelly, and full of bacteria yet, and no one was seriously trying to fix it. With my background in nanobiotechnology, I realized I could actually do something for this, do something practical. That's when I thought if we can make nanotech useful for medicine, for a space technology and something like that, why not for waste? And that was really the turning point for me. After the moment I started researching and experimenting, I looked into some materials I already knew from my academic work. Biopolymers, actually natural fibers and safe nanoparticles, and began testing how they could absorb liquid waste and stop the smell. I spent months mixing, adjusting, and testing until I finally created the first prototype of Kaylee, a small but powerful biodegradable powder that could turn messy waste into something manageable, actually.
Now, you developed the first versions of Leeanne largely solo. What were the hardest early trade-offs between lab performance, cost, and safety?
The first version, when we worked very well in the lab, they absorbed quickly and remove bad odor effectively. But scaling that to a real consumer product was so challenges. I had to find a balance between scientific performance and economic reality. Some materials were excellent but too expensive, and other were cheaper but not fully biodegradable, safe, and something like that. I think the hardest part was keeping it eco-friendly and safe for both people and the environment, while still being affordable enough to reach every household and industry to this product.
So you really had to look at the benefits versus the costs and really consider, like what your main mission was and, that your priorities, and develop accordingly. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. So relocating the company and registering as a Canadian cleanup startup is a big leap. What are you looking forward to as you make this move?
For us, Canada represents opportunities, especially for clean technology innovation. We look forward to, collaborating with Canadian universities, incubator and accelerators, testing our product in different climates and different waste systems. There is a huge, difference between Canada and Iran waste management system, and building a strong partnership with municipality and waste management companies. Another important reason for choosing Canada is the higher consumer purchasing power in North America, and the fact that people here care deeply about health and the environment is so important for us. And they are more willing to try sustainable solutions and support companies that reduce plastic and pollution. So moving to Canada isn't just about business growth, it's also about being in the best place where people value exactly that we're trying to achieve.
Well, very exciting. Yeah, it looks like not only opportunity, like you mentioned, as developing the product and having that support system, but also opportunity and in an environment where people, are more focused on sustainability and that, products that meet
Exactly.
those requirements. Yeah. Looking back, what principle now guides your R&D choices that you wish you'd known on day one?
It's a hard question, but I like to say start simple, scale smart. In the beginning, I tried to make the best and perfect product. Too technical, but too perfect. But over time, I learned that innovation only matters if people can use it easily and affordably. Now, every R&D decision I make and we make at Polyean follows this idea, keeps the science strong, but designed for real life and real people. That's how we make technology that truly help people and help our planet.
So, Ali, in simple terms, what's happening at the material level when kaolin absorbs the leachate and neutralizes odor? And how do the biopolymers and nano components work together?
Kaolin works like a smart sponge. When it touches leachate, the polymer and biopolymer quickly absorb the whole liquid and trap it inside a gel or a sponge structure. This stop leaks and dripping almost instantly. And at the same time, the nanocomponents act like mini guards. They help neutralize the bad smell and create an environment that's not friendly to bacteria. So basically, one part sucks up the wet waste and another part keeps it clean and odor free.
Yeah. And you've mentioned the antibacterial activity and insect suppression as well. Those are other attributes. What data or tests convinced you the formulation meaningfully reduces bacterial growth and even pest attraction?
In our lab studies, we use a standard microbial test to compare untreated leachate with kaolin-treated samples. After 24 hours, we observed around 70% reduction in bacterial colony growth, especially in common strains like E. coli and Staphylococcus aureus. We also noticed that flies and other insects were far less attracted to waste treated with kaolin, which makes sense because odor and moisture are what attract them most. While it's not 100% elimination, the difference is clear and very visible in both lab and real use.
Okay, so the technology just inherently repels pests because it doesn't have the odors and the moisture that attract the pests in the first place. Now, safety is pivotal with nanotechnology. How do you design for biodegradability and user safety while maintaining performance?
Actually, that's a really important question. For day one, we made sure clean use only food grade and biodegradable materials. The nano components we use are fully embedded in the polymer matrix, which means they don't separate or enter the environment freely. We follow the European and Canadian safety guidelines for nanomaterials and ensuring no toxic or persistent particle remain after use. The product completely breaks down over time, leaving no harmful residue. So it's safe to touch, safe to dispose, and safe for the environment.
All right. So tell me how your product is different than other technologies. Are there other similar technologies that you're competing against, or is this something novel?
Actually, Our product formulation is so tricky and smart formulation, and we can't find any formulation like us as our competitor.
And I know now you're using it in garbage bags particularly. Where do you see Kaleen evolving next? Like tablet, pad, or other specific formats or uses?
Yes, definitely. Right now, kaolin comes as a powder. You can simply open the sachet and sprinkle the powder at the bottom of garbage bag or bin, where it immediately start working, absorbing leachate, removing bad odors, and keeping the surface dry and clean. But we're also, developing another formats like a pad version for kitchen beans, for hospital, and a tablet format that's easier to drop into larger or industrial containers. All of this format is designed for a specific waste management need. And the goal is to make it simple for everyone, whether at home or in a large facility.
Great. And Kaleen targets a universal pain, which is messy, smelly trash. And not only that, but it absorbs the liquid at the bottom of the trash bags, which I know I've personally struggled with. Which segments are your highest impact wins right now? Households, restaurants, hospitals, or large waste management bins?
Right now, our biggest impacts come from household and hospitals. In home, people love the simplicity, just and a small sachet makes the bin cleaner and odor free. In hospital, kaolin helps with infectious waste, especially that containing blood or fluid and other else, where hygiene is critical. We also have a strong interest from airlines and restaurants where waste is handled in tight spaces and cleanliness directly affects customer experience.
Okay. And so right now, is the product commercially available?
In Iran, yeah, and maybe 6 months later, we can start selling in Canada.
Okay. All right. So you're in the process right now of getting
Yeah, exactly.
I
We
guess,
are in the
permits
process.
and okay, very exciting. And so, and right now, you're targeting households and hospitals, you mentioned?
Yeah. We work with
Okay.
some hospitals in Iran, for example, the hospital in Iraq, Iran in Tehran, and another cities.
So paint the picture of a commercial deployment. What changes for a restaurant chain or a hauler when they add Kaleen to their workflow?
Okay. For restaurant chain, the main challenges are always the same: leaking garbage bag and bad odors in storage areas and dripping waste in kitchen floors and hallways, which means staff have to clean constantly and every time. Once they sprinkle kaolin into the garbage bag, the liquid waste quickly solidifies and the odor disappears, and there's far less need for deep cleaning. Staff can handle bins without leaking bags or messy floors, making the whole waste area cleaner and safer. And for waste management companies, leachate causes serious damage to their storage and transport equipment. And when the waste is wet, it sticks to containers, corrodes metal parts, and needs frequent washing. With kaolin, the waste become lighter and drier, so it doesn't drip during transportation and causes much less wear and tear. Overall, it saves time, water, labor, and maintenance costs while improving hygiene and safety across the system.
Okay, so I'm hearing there are a lot of benefits to the product beyond
Yeah,
just the
exactly.
odor and yeah, and the liquid reduction.
Exactly.
So as far as taking it to market and your strategies there, like what are you focusing on message-wise and what metrics are you tracking regarding your messaging?
So, messaging wise, biodegradability of the material and the fact that it helps with waste management beyond what was thought of, that it's outside of the box, an idea that was, how should I put it, not anticipated in any way. I think that helps us most with bringing that message and channeling that.
Did you do market testing, like when you were first bringing the product to market? Tell me about the process for, I guess, even identifying those benefits.
We did do market testing, and how we did it was first with domestic use of the material. So what we did was hand out free samples, ask certain markets to give out free samples to people who were buying garbage bags to see whether they would come asking for more and how they would react to the material. So that was one thing that we did. As for how we've been tracking that, as I said, it's mostly been through the domestic use of the material. As with the industrial use of the material, we got in touch with certain waste management companies, tried to explain to them the use of the material, and it was there that we recognized that it could have benefits like reducing the wear and tear of the machinery. So it was mostly through customer feedback.
Okay, great. So tracking customer feedback and just through samples and in both the household and commercial markets. What pilot or customer story best illustrates the real world ROI of kaolin?
This one time that we handed out samples at a market. That one with the customers coming back happy and asking for the product again. That would be the best customer story for us, honestly. The fact that they said their complaints and their handling of the garbage that they struggled with daily and hated to do had decreased.
So I guess proof of concept, when I'm understanding, just by handing out samples and getting feedback for clients that the product works and that they're wanting more of it is what really led you to believe that, or just showed actual proof of concept is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Yeah. So Miriam, you're building a category people don't know how to search for. How are you driving awareness? Like what messaging channels and partnerships are proving most effective?
Yes, so that is true. A lot of people don't know that there could be something that could solve their leachate problem. So with that, our main goal is to create awareness around that problem that's been ignored for so long. We try to focus on keeping the message simple, say that we have a solution for something that you've just learned to be disgusted by and to handle with disgust. That awareness, we've been building videos, we've been building leaflets, trying to send in newsletters, the things that we've been doing to create that awareness and to educate people about the solution that we have to this lifelong problem. That's been our approach.
Yeah, because I would say, I mean, I would think a lot of consumers don't even know the word leachate, for example, so they're probably not searching for it, or like you said, it's just a problem that most people have just dealt with and didn't think of, really looking for a solution for. What's been the most effective when it comes to educating and getting the word out about the product?
Social media has helped greatly. So when we put a video of how the product worked and compared it to to how the product could change, say, the situation, that was where we got the most feedback. People were simply amazed and they were like, "Oh, something like that could happen. I hadn't even thought of that." So yes, just the reach out has been greater through social media, mostly say platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn, where we could provide some material, some visual guide as to how the product works.
Yeah, because I guess it's first educating people around the problem and then introducing your solutions. It's like, again, a problem people know they have. It's just creating the awareness that there's a solution. Now, regulations around nanomaterials can be complicated. How are you approaching compliance, certifications, and trust signals as you scale manufacturing?
So we treat compliance as part of our product design guide. So what we do is, from the very beginning, we used food-grade, non-toxic, biodegradable material as our base material, as this thing that we would build on. And that's helped with the compliance because we didn't have a formulation that didn't fit with the compliance. We had formulated something that was built to fit that compliance, because environment and the biodegradable factor and the health factor were of utmost importance, because we were initially considering domestic use.
Yes. Are you looking to partner with garbage bag companies or others to help push your product forward?
Yes, we've been trying to negotiate with some garbage bag companies in Canada and in Iran. We've been trying to get in touch with waste management companies, and the negotiations with them are looking good, I think. Like, for example, I didn't know that there's such a thing in North America that they have scented garbage bags. That was new. But seeing that there is already innovation going into this industry and going into the problem of garbage, I think we have a high chance of collaborating with our industry partners.
Okay, yeah, just collaborating and focusing on parts of the industry that are innovating, and to help introduce your product to those who are already working around the solution.
Yes.
So looking 3 to 5 years out, what does success look like for Polyean? Product line expansion, municipal partnerships, hospital standards, or private label integrations?
So for the next few years, I think what success would mean to us would be having tapped into that potential that kaolin has, and having commercialized it at the larger scale. So to be more specific, having partnered up with at least a few companies and had the word out about kaolin. I think that is the largest mission that we should hope to achieve.
Well, very exciting. And Ali, Maryam, thank you for sharing about how kaolin works and how it can turn an everyday headache into a cleaner, safer process. Where can listeners learn more about the product?
Well, thank you, Leeanne. It was a great pleasure to join you here and to make the existence of kaolin heard. If anyone wants to learn more, they could visit our website at polyeantech.com. So that is polyeantech.com, or find us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook under the name Polyean Technology. We would love to connect with people, and we would love them to try our product. We actually have a part on our website that allows people to apply for a sample. So it would be great if people reached out, and we definitely do look forward to that.
Very good. Awesome. So the samples, are they available worldwide, or will you just send them to certain countries?
For now, it's just Iran and Canada, but we will be working on trying to get it out and trying to send them overseas as well.
Okay, but at least listeners can reach out still to find out more.
Yes, yes.
Great. And to our audience, if this sparked ideas for your facilities or city programs, please make sure to reach out to Ali or Miriam, and subscribe to Industry Ignited for more practical innovation, and stay tuned for next time. Until then, stay curious, stay bold, and keep igniting industry.